So what does a typical day look like for us? I don't think there is anything as a typical day in this world-towning lifestyle. However, September 23rd is the date of the autumnal equinox and is the official start date of fall for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. The season brings with it the end of warm summer days, but beautiful foliage, and for our kids, the start of school. And although as WorldTowners, learning is a continuous process, we do have several facets to how we educate our kids. Today, we're going to dig a little deeper into this part of our lives.
Good morning from Fossberg, Norway. I think that's where we are. There's a sign here that says Fossberg. Yeah, we're in Fossberg, Norway. Look at this. There are mountains and there's a gas station right here. And we are taking advantage of the one thing that we love. We call it taking advantage, but it's really just one of the conveniences that you have RVing in Europe, or RVing particularly in Scandinavia, now Norway, is that a lot of these gas stations will have like setups that you can go ahead and fill water, you can dump, you can take care of all of your sort of necessities. Because when we're back in France and we're in Spain, if you want to go ahead and dump and fill water, you got to go to a campground and pay their extortion money. Here it's just you want gas? No problem. You want water? Cool. All right, it's good. How's the water, Largo? Hey. Water. We have our own hose. They have one of their own, but we like to use ours. So we have one that's going through there. It's going into here. Okay. We've been able to dump all of our sort of black water, our sort of potty water. And they even have like a nice little hand washer thing, so when you're done, it's all good.
Really?
Yeah. And we were like literally on fumes with water. We filled up.
We were, weren't we? You've been filling for like an hour.
We filled up so much water here. I have to say that our reserve water tank's like about 100 liters, 100 plus liters, maybe, I think 180. I don't know. That when we bought it, they said it was 180. We go through it really fast. Maybe we just drink a lot of water. But we've also refilled all of our water bottles here. We filled up all of these guys. We have like about 6 of them. And we got these as well. Look at that. Oh my gosh. There's another one. Oh.
And just so you guys know,
are they coming out of your back seat? Where did you get these water bottles from?
So these are water bottles we've had forever that we just keep refilling. We're not buying and using more plastic. We just keep refilling them, refilling them, refilling them.
There's positive and negatives to that. People say you don't reuse plastic water bottles more than necessary.
That's true too. I think if we
but these monster ones, I think they can take a beating.
I think if we were to do this over again, I would have gotten something that was eco-friendly, and I'm sure and probably spent a little more money on it. I had no idea that we'd be refilling these as much as we are.
Well, we're not paying for water either.
That's true. That's nice. Oh, here's another one.
And then as emergency reserves, this is really cool. We have like these platypus sort of bladder things. Guys, we're gonna be good for water for about 3 days at this point. We're gonna fill like 200 liters and we're gonna be good for like 3 days. You guys, you drink water like there's no tomorrow, right?
No, that's Largo who does that. Seriously, he'll just drink it for fun.
He does drink a lot of water, doesn't he?
But now we can do dishes again.
Oh, thank goodness. We've been just using the same fork, all 4 of us, for a week.
That's disgusting. That's not true. Don't you say that.
One of the issues that we're plagued with now is because the other day, by foolish, careless mistake, we were like, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here. We left our little wash basin that we use to wash the dishes. Our washing is basically wash in like a plastic basin, then rinse in a sink here, which, you know, works out fine. But we left the wash basin somewhere, so now we have like this big plastic tub that we're using for dishes. Check this out. This right here is now full of dishes, and we also filled that with water too. So just to add to our water tab, thank you, Norway. You have really good water. We really do appreciate it. It tastes really good, and today we're using a lot of it. And like good helpers, there they are. They're putting the stuff away. Thank you for helping out, guys. Not like you had a choice.
I've tried, written down the words to say. It is time. I've been waiting 5 days to explain how you make me feel inside. Baby, got it all figured out. Wanna do this right. There's no doubt in my mind.
So we're now heading towards Gjendesheim. Notice how as we sort of go up and we start going to higher elevations and it starts getting colder, we start wearing less clothing. It's kind of weird. I've got now my jeans with like the cut off legs just because honestly we have laundry to do and these are the only pants I have left. And as it gets colder, it doesn't seem to hurt. I don't know why. Maybe we're just getting used to this Norwegian climate. But where we're going is supposed to be one of the hikes that is totally magnificent. However, I hate to disappoint, we're not going on a hike today. Today is like a kind of work school day, but we're going to talk a little bit to you guys about schooling, about how we manage this schooling effort of ours, because it is a truly orchestrated event. We go through so much painstaking efforts to make sure our kids get a quality education that I think it's time we share this with you guys.
So the plan is that I'm thinking that I will just share Largo's education style today because it varies quite a bit from Avalon's because she's now in high school. And then maybe next week I'll share Avalon's, which is a little more detail because now we're working towards university and further education. So get ready.
What if I would tell you that things don't happen once, they always come back? What if I could throw us back to the very moment when we had our luck? Suddenly, it's clear to me, you're all I ever wanted, can't you see?
And with that, we've just arrived. Now, are you hearing the sound behind me besides the wind? Oh my gosh, it's one of those days. Anyway, we have, look at this, a river right back here. This is so breathtakingly amazing. We just like drove by and we saw this rest stop and just, it was calling our name. There's also like, check that, there's like a car behind us, like right over there. They're pretty far away, but they're like car campers. That's like a real thing. I didn't realize that like actually people drive around and they like sleep in the back of their car if it's like a hatchback type thing. You see them everywhere around here. We got a fire pit right back here, which is gonna be used tonight without question. And just the view of this river, I have to always ask myself whether is it just me who sort of gets blown back by what we're doing here, or is it just, I mean, I don't know, you tell me. The ability to work wherever you want and the ability to go ahead and sort of wake up to stuff like this, it's really cold. I'm not gonna go in there, but it's really pretty though. And tonight we're gonna sit by a fire and we're gonna sort of roast something, marshmallows, carrots, I don't know what we're gonna have to roast, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. But today's a work day, so we're not gonna go ahead and kill ourselves trying to say how wonderful this place is. It is still like, you know, business as usual. We have school, we have work. While Jessica's driving, I'm editing. While I'm driving, she's returning emails and doing other stuff. This is a fully functioning operation here. So I gotta go inside because, yeah, not every day can be out there just lounging around. We're not on perpetual vacation. I'm sorry, I know it is the mystique, but it's not reality.
Every single day I get messages from you guys, emails, PMs, comments, asking how we homeschool. So today is a day. I am taking this opportunity in freezing cold Norway to sit outside in my gear and chat with you guys about how we homeschool, particularly how we homeschool Largo, because how he's homeschooled in middle school versus how Avalon is homeschooled in high school is completely different. So there'll be a separate video for her. This is how we homeschool. It's our process. It's not the only way. It's not the right way. There's no wrong way. So take what you can from it. Feel free to message us with more questions. Put it in the comments. But don't feel like, oh, if I'm not doing it this way, I'm doing it wrong. There's so many ways that you can do this. Now, to give you a little bit of a backstory on us, our kids have been in. So when we lived in the US, they were in language preschools. They were in public school, which had a French language immersion program. They were also in an international French school, which was French and English. And then when we left Boston, they were homeschooled as well as in international schools within the countries we were living in. So a Spanish and French school in Ecuador, as well as in Costa Rica. And then when we moved to France, they both went into the public school system that's completely taught in French. And then after that, we started homeschooling. And now we're, I guess, RV or road schooling throughout Europe. So what's our education style? What would you term us? I guess if we were going to put a term on how we do this education thing, it would be eclectic homeschoolers. And I don't know if there's an official definition for this, but this is kind of what we've chosen to use because we use a variety of styles within our education. So we first have a traditional component, and this is where the kids learn mostly online classes in a group setting or self-paced or maybe one-on-one with more academic, I guess you could call them, programs. Then we have a component which is the world schooling component. Now, our traditional education takes a global approach, so we still consider it somewhat world schooling as well, but our kind of heavy world schooling stuff is where the kids will go out in a community that we're traveling through and learn something about something. So for example, the other day we were hiking the glaciers here in Norway, and they learned about global warming, about the science behind glaciers, about the history. They have taken Moroccan bread baking classes in Morocco from a lady in a rural village. Will and Avalon have learned about truffle making in Croatia. We do this so they visit sites, we read books, living books about the areas that we're visiting, as well as watching documentaries, and then we go out and we have these amazing experiences. And then the third component to their education is our unschooling component. And this is where they get to pursue business ideas that they want, form groups online and clubs, maybe pursue a class that's outside of their academic setting. For example, Largo is learning or has a group setting with kids from all over the world playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. Avalon has her business where she tutors and has a book club. So to me, Will and I believe that this part of their education is probably, maybe if we were going to not divide them equally, a little more powerful than the rest, because this is where they get to really truly shine and go after their passions. And isn't that what life's all about, is following your passion and doing something you love for work? So typically the kids, we all pretty much sleep in till around 8 o'clock in the morning. The kids maybe 9 o'clock. Then we get up, and the reason for that is because they're up late the night before with classes, particularly Largo. So we sleep in, we get up, we have breakfast, we usually meditate. Not every day, but quite often we'll go on a hike, or the kids will do an app workout, say 7-minute workout, or we'll work with them doing some exercises so they're being physically active. At that point, they'll kind of slowly start their day. Largo will finish up some work from his classes the night before. Avalon will begin her day. We will break usually around 1 or 2 for lunch. We try to have lunches together, but it doesn't always work out that way because everyone's kind of doing their own thing and what's convenient for them at the time in their process of work and school. Then around 3 o'clock, Largo will start his online classes with teachers. And he has classes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 3 until 10 or 11 at night. Now, it is not 8 or 9 hours consistent of class. He'll have a 2-hour class, then he'll have a 2-hour break, then we'll all meet for dinner, cook dinner together, eat, have some great conversation. Everyone always stops working for our dinner time. That is our time to kind of reconnect, particularly Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, because we feel a bit disconnected since we're all kind of doing our own thing with work and school. Then we'll clean up, do our chores together, and then Laura will have another class for an hour and a half, then maybe a 2-hour break, and then another hour and a half class. Our days are long, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and anything that doesn't get accomplished in those days for school falls into a little bit of Thursday, but we really try to keep it consistent with only 3 to 3.5 days of school because they are long days, and the world schooling and unschooling aspect of their education and rest time and more family time happens on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is a bit of a tough schedule, but we seem to make it work, and every year it varies, you know. So Avalon, Will, and I are kind of accommodating to Largo's classes this year because that's when they were offered, and when we go to Asia, we'll have to reevaluate and see where we are at that point. So what's everyone's role in this homeschooling process, particularly with Largo? So my role is program creator. I spend a lot of time picking and choosing and working with them to see which classes they want to take, which teachers they like, which style of education is going to work for them in their present moment. We work as a team, and Will and I work together with that, and then we get Avalon's input if she's taken the class, and Largo gets to make a decision as well. So if there's 3 math classes, I will email the teacher and get some more information about each one. Maybe they'll have a video online that we can watch, and I'll sit down with Largo and Will and Avalon, and we'll all watch it together, and then he'll give us his feedback of what he likes about it, what he doesn't like, and if he thinks it's a good fit for him. So my main role is that. My secondary role is helping him when he has any questions or concerns with his work. And Will and Avalon help out with that as well. And then the third role is making sure everything is cohesive and in one spot and clearly defined for a transcript if we need to present that. For example, when we moved from Costa Rica to Ecuador, Avalon wanted to switch from homeschooling and try traditional education, and they needed an official transcript. So it's very important that I keep very, very precise documents of when she took the class, if she got a grade, what she got, a course description, was it for credit, all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of work, in all honesty, but I use Excel for that. Will kind of laid me out a great Excel spreadsheet for that, as well as for Largo, I use Lesson Truck to manage all of his classes so he knows what days they're on and what time. And he goes in there and he refers to it and he keeps track of when he needs to be where, what day and what time. So how do I build this program? How do I know which classes Largo needs to take to graduate or move on to the next grade? When I first started out, I had no idea and I wasn't confident what I was doing. So I actually asked the school that we were currently at to give me the syllabus of what the classes were that the kids would take in the next grade and what they would learn. And I built the program around that. Now at this point in middle school, I kind of know what he should know by this age, and if I don't, I Google it, but I don't really freak out about, oh my gosh, is he getting this or is he getting that, because I know everything is pretty much repeated at the high school level, and we'll talk more about that when I'm discussing Avalon's programs. Now you also have questioned whether he has to take exams, and how do we feel about that, and are we preparing him for exams? So in the United States, it's not required that you have certain exams that you have to pass to go on to the next grade. Each class will have exams that you need to pass at the end of a class, say after American history or after biology or after English, but it's not necessary that if you don't pass these, you cannot move on. And Will and I have chosen to opt out of the standardized tests for the kids because we feel that it's not necessary for them. There's a lot of teaching that teaches to the exam so that kids can do well on the exam, and we want them to not learn stuff, to do well on an exam, memorize, regurgitate, and forget it. We want them to have a true love of learning, and everything that we do with them and how we educate them is based on giving them a love for what they're doing and a love for learning. And we found that these standardized tests and any exams that are very rigid like that freak kids out, kills a love of learning. So for us, we choose not to do it. So how do we find these classes and programs that we haven't built ourselves that Largo takes online? Whew, let's see. Okay, Google is a great option. I've joined a ton of homeschooling, WorldTowning, unschooling Facebook groups. I ask questions there. I ask friends that are currently homeschooling. We also ask those who have gone before us, who have older kids and might have some great advice. There are a ton of resources online. If you just start asking questions, one will lead you to another, lead you to another, lead you to another. Largo and Evelyn have a great creative writing teacher, and I found her through someone else who wasn't accepting any more students, who knew someone, and it just went down the line. I am relentless when it comes to finding the right program, the right school, the right class for a particular subject in a particular area for each kid's different learning style. What does Largo's current homeschooling, WorldTowning, unschooling, eclectic schooling program look like for this year? So he has a combination of classes on Zoom, and if you haven't used Zoom before, it's a great platform, where he meets with the teacher and other kids all over the world once or twice a week to discuss the subject. He has some self-paced classes where he works at his own speed and manages his time and gets through the material he needs to get through each day, week, month, and for the year. As well as he has some one-on-one with tutors, which are specifically mostly in the language department for him, for Spanish and for French. We've found that working with a one-on-one tutor works really well for that. So, what classes does he have? And I wish I could remember them all off the top of my head, but I can't. So I'm gonna tell you guys with my little handy dandy cheat note. All right, so for math, he uses Khan Academy. If you have not used Khan, it's amazing. And he reinforces the topics with IXL, another great platform, fabulously laid out. And if the kid is self-motivated and can manage his time well, you can just set him in front of it and it's just plug and go. We also put him in a group class for math this year. Although he's really good at math, he struggles from the sense of not feeling like he's that good at it. So we felt a group setting with other children learning with him would be really great this year. The next classes, he has English. For history, here's a great resource, OutSchool. Now we just started using them last year. They are fabulous. I found a retired attorney living in Florida someplace who is passionate about American history. And he teaches the class in 3 semesters or trimesters throughout the year, and Largo's joined that class with him, and he's really learning a lot from this guy. Science, again, another OutSchool group. Let's see, what else? Okay, Spanish, another great platform we're using this year is called TutorMe. We've used Preply in the past, but this time we're using TutorMe, and they have tutors from all over the world. And what we've done with Spanish is, because he has a pretty high level of Spanish, we don't really want to get him to college or PhD level in his Spanish grammar. reading, writing, well, in his Spanish grammar at least. We want him to still enjoy the language and enjoy learning. So what we've done is I found a tutor on TutorMe who has a PhD in economics, and he's going to speak in Spanish. So Largo's still using his Spanish, but he's going to teach him basic macroeconomics. So it's kind of twofold. He's getting the language as well as learning about something else, which I think is fabulous. French. So both the kids, they're French. We do a program through what's called CNED, through the French Ministry of Education. And I'm gonna be frank here, this program is such a pain to purchase every year. They don't ship until late in the year. We're shipping it all over the world to try and get it. This year it got lost, we still don't have it. But it's a great workbook, which is really well laid out for Largo to continue in his French studies. And what we do is we partner him with, because Will and I don't speak French, we partner him with a tutor that we found on Pre-Apply years ago, and he works with him through the program a couple hours a week. Now, for a minute, let's talk about these tutors. These tutors are another way for your child to interact with someone from a different country, a different nationality, a different language. We consider these people a crucial part in our education. Our French tutor is from France and lives in Peru and has a really kind of eclectic life. These people that come to teach our children and become part of our community are really important to us, and we feel they enrich the kids' lives. So it's really important that we're forming a relationship with them. We don't want someone that's just gonna work with the kids for a couple of weeks and then quit. So we work really hard to get people that are very committed. Largo also has, so for electives, he has cooking. So he's gonna do an online cooking class, which is gonna be interesting. He's learning how to cook soups, and we got that throughout school. He also has Dungeons and Dragons Club, which meets once a week as well, again throughout school. OutSchool is a great resource because if your kid has an interest in, say, astronomy, you can actually take a one-day class, a 4-week class, an 8-week class, a semester-long class, and they can try it out. And if they try it out and say, it's not really my thing, they're not locked into it for an entire year. They can get a taste of it, which is absolutely fabulous. He has a debate class throughout school. And then also in his academic lineup, we have meditation. I almost said medication. Meditation and PE, which we do out in the world, hiking, swimming, sailing, whatever it may be, and then life skills. And we all know what life skills are. So, and like I said before, what I do is I message the teachers and I get a good feel for their learning style. Are they going to be a dictator? Are they going to memorize and regurgitate? Or are they going to open free thinking and free thoughts between the kids in the classroom? Are there going to be projects? Are they going to be allowed to express what they're feeling about the situation? That's really, really important for education style. And you can get a feel from that in an email very easily, or you can even ask the teacher, hey, can we do a quick Skype chat or Zoom chat? And then you can have your child and the teacher interact and then ask them after, did you like this person? Do you think you can learn from them? You know, do you feel comfortable with them? Besides everything that they learn in this kind of eclectic style of education, they also learn about flexibility. We live in an RV, we change time zones all the time. They have to learn how to be flexible. Sometimes they have to take a call in the bathroom, in their bed, outside in a jacket like this. They've learned a great skill being flexible on their academics, which will, I think, serve them well in university as well as in life. They've also learned great time management skills. Both kids are completely in charge of their schedule, and they know when they have to get their stuff done. They deal with their teachers, emailing, getting assignments in, all of that stuff. Will and I are completely uninvolved at this point in the process. We stopped being involved by 7th grade, and Largo's in 7th grade. We want them to figure this out on their own, and if they fail, they learn. If they have a question about something, they email the teacher. And through all of this, they've learned a great deal of responsibility. They're accountable and responsible for their own stuff, and I think that's really amazing. And I'm just gonna do a mama moment here. I'm so proud of both of them. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And I'm proud of how far they've come. They've had their struggles in certain subjects. They've had their struggles in the space that we're living in. It's not always easy to work in school in it, and I'm incredibly proud of them. So, I can't believe I was that serious for that long, guys. I feel like I need to like burp or something or scratch my armpit or something. I hope this helped. Okay, this is just Largo's portion of the education. If you have questions, put them in the comments. Go over to Instagram, put them over there, whatever. You can send me an email. If you still need more information, you can send me a message and we can do a 1-hour consult. I love talking about this. So come on, bring it on. Oh boy, it's hot.
Is this our new way of doing dishes now? We have a really big basin. Look at that. My gosh, you can fit everything in there. Largo, it's like a restaurant style.
Haha. Have one? My job hasn't changed. My basin is still the same size.
Yeah, but you get the easy job. You're just rinsing and putting stuff away.
Well, technically it's double the work his is, so I just have to go a lot faster.
So while the kids are inside doing the dishes, we get this wonderful duty, although it's freezing outside. Who cares?
I thought I would go take a little bath in the water, just muscle through, but I just went down there to touch it and my finger went numb,
So as you can see, we're very novice fire cookers. So it is with great understanding that we have a lot to learn, that we're here in Norway, because if you don't try, you can never actually gain anywhere. I'm really excited about what it's gonna look like though, because Jessica's putting her heart and soul into this thing. Jessica, it looks really good.
So a little bit of charbroiled salmon never hurt anyone, right?
Yep, and with that we are done with this vlog. And I hope you got a little bit of education out of this.
Please give it a thumbs up, guys. I know some of you are like, oh, education. But some of you are probably like, yay. Thank you for listening. Share it with people you know who want to homeschool or world school. Give me your thoughts. We'll do Avalons next week. And
if
thank
you want a piece of salmon,
come on over.
Okay, bye. Largo, there's got to be some skill you're going to learn by doing the dishes.
Yeah, heating them.
It's knowing what you don't want to do in life, right?
Yeah. Maybe persistence.
But you know what? One day in life, you know what? You're going to probably realize that the person who does the dishes is a really, 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 really needed person, right?